Hey everyone, hold on for a sec. Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had to let my dog out for a moment. And I wanted to kind of give you a bit of an overview on something that some of you may have seen in the package opening or not, and I talked about it, one of the package openings. And then kind of give my overview and sort of review of this GoLion, which is the original version of Voltron. And what I mean by original version is this is straight up the legit version. This is basically uncut, unaltered, uncensored. This is basically how Voltron was originally seen in Japan. It was known as GoLion, and I think in a sense, I don't think it really had anything to do with the other Voltrons that came after, like Vehicle and C. Maybe it did, I don't really know. I know when Fleet of Doom was made, that was specifically for Western audiences. So, but yeah, this is basically how the Voltron we know came to be. And, really, help create a phenomenon for us. Now, the one thing about this Voltron is definitely the fact that you can see the rating here. 13 and up. Now, basically that's the equivalent of saying this is a TV 14 product, in a sense, almost 14. If it's 13 and up, you're kind of looking at TV PG, fantasy violence, fantasy language violence, whatever. But it's more along the lines of almost a TV 14 environment. And I gotta get my dog. Hold on for a second. Sorry about that. But like I said, it was more along the lines of a TV nowadays, almost like a TV 14 environment. Even though it says 13 and up, they pretty much should just say it's TV 14. But I think because it's Voltron, they want to at least appeal to maybe the audiences below that. But again, like I said, GoLion is definitely the original Voltron. Is definitely way different than what we got here. Now, for some people that may or may not know, when we got Voltron here, we didn't get the episodes as they were first seen in Japan, even if they were edited or anything like that. No, what we got here in the U.S. was basically a Voltron where there were specific parts of episodes, of individual different episodes, pieced together to create one. That's right. One episode could consist of various pieces from different episodes, what have you. Now, some, I will admit, it looked like were kind of kept intact, maybe, but just edited and cut a little bit because of certain elements. But majority of the time, the episodes that we got were basically edited together from different scenes and stuff from other various episodes of the original GoLion. And because of the popularity, that's how we ended up getting something like Fleet of Doom exclusive to us, as well as another season of the Lion Voltron exclusive to us as well because of the popularity. This Voltron here, was, like I said, was not uncut, was not unaltered, it was uncensored. These are complete episodes, and you could definitely tell there's a huge difference, a real huge difference. I mean, okay, now we can understand maybe if there was a little bit of blood shown here and there on a character, we can understand that. That was back in the 80s. But this version of Voltron didn't just have blood. I mean, it basically was a massacre kind of deal of characters. Let's put it this way. In the very first episode, you have slaves on the slave ship going into this battle arena, and they're literally getting the hell beat out of them and ripped to shreds, torn apart, crushed, you name it. And you wonder why, when World Events brought it over, they're like, oh, heck no, we're not going to do it like this. There's no way we could work with that. And the fact that it was because of stuff like that. It was the death of Seven, I believe, or Severin, in the original, instead of him going into a coma in our version, that, these were reasons why this was really cut. I mean, you kind of find out that Voltron originally, nobody really knew about its origins of who built it or why, but you find out Voltron GoLion was a robot that would battle just about anything and went up against the goddess of light or something like that, and because of this, or goddess of creation or whatever, and because of this, the goddess said, oh, heck no, 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 you're going to learn, and if you don't want to learn on your own, you're going to learn with a bit of punishment, and basically she punishes Voltron by separating him into five different lions. Now here's the thing, Voltron GoLion, if you will, obviously it sounds like to me was never meant to be separate individual lions. That basically GoLion, Voltron, was one big robot that was built and had the heads of five different lions, thus it got the name King of Beasts GoLion. So that's what you take away from it. And again, you could definitely see, just in the first episode, the big difference. You definitely see that. I mean, you have, and if you read the subtext, you read from the villain's perspective, they're taking a lot of the slaves that are weak and on the verge of death, and basically it's like, okay, these guys, you automatically take to the deathlocks, they are to be butchered into feed. Basically, those that are so weak, like, oh, I can't, like, oh, I'm not going to make it kind of deal, right? They're like, oh, can't make it. They will get taken into the deathlocks and butchered. Just literally turned into stew, as we find out later on. I mean, that is, again, that is just a huge, massive difference. Just a huge, massive difference with this version of Voltron compared to what we had. Just a huge, massive difference. And again, like I say, the episodes are not butchered up. There's not scenes from alternate episodes added, from different episodes added together to make one. No, these are actually episodes full and uncut. Now, like I said, I'm pretty certain that there were some episodes that were unaltered and, well, not unaltered, but were altered, but were actually full episodes that we got here. Not saying that's the case, but obviously it seems to me that some of them had to be a little, full. Some of them had to be full actual episodes and not butchered and pieced together like into one. But again, that's just my opinion. I know when we got an additional season out here, those were actually full-on episodes, I think. Those were actually full-on episodes. Now, I know a lot of people might ask, well, why didn't they at least acknowledge that this was a darker Voltron? Why couldn't they find a way to air it uncut here in the States? Well, even back in the 1980s, they had standards. And Voltron here was brought over to be a weekday morning, weekend morning, and weekday afternoon show. And its main purpose at the time, just like with Transformers, G.I. Joe, Jem, My Little Pony, He-Man, She-Ra, Silverhawks, Thundercats, its main purpose was to sell toys. And that's what its main purpose was, sell the toy. Sell the Voltron line, sell the Voltron figure, sell them. That was the main point of that. You think when they originally created GoLion in Japan that was the main thing? No. Originally GoLion was just another anime of a big robot and stuff, and it had a story to it. Again, now I will say this. I haven't watched all the other episodes. I've just watched the first of the 18 episodes that are on here. I haven't watched the other 17 yet. Probably in time I will. But I will say this. If you are a Voltron fan, GoLion is definitely something you need to get in your collection. Have it with you and watch it every now and then if you want. I mean, again, you get some good backstory that was taken out of what we had. You find out that, the five pilots, the five original Voltron pilots, GoLion pilots from Earth, were captured on a previous slave ship when they had returned to Earth and seen that Earth had been left in ruins, and obviously thanks to the I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what the name here. Gala Empire, the Galra Empire. You could definitely see, you definitely see an origin for them there, and that Earth, because of the Gala Empire, was left in ruins. You saw in the flashback, you saw families getting destroyed, people just getting wiped out. It was just, to me, like I said, you just see a huge difference between GoLion and Voltron, and obviously, World Events found a way to work around that, and like I say, take scenes from different episodes, edit them together to make one new episode here in the States. And that wasn't the case at times, they did a decent job, in my opinion, of really, bringing the Voltron phenomenon here to the Western Hemisphere, Western portion of the world. And they definitely did, in my opinion, the best job they could to make sure what we saw here didn't get shown here back then. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people complain that Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Avalon, card captors, whatever, gets butchered by certain people when they're aired, right? One Piece, you name it. Shaman King, you get the idea. Any anime that comes over somehow gets an edit, a butchering, as some people put it. Be thankful GoLion came out in the 1980s. Because if it would have came out now, you think the edits that World Events did for this to make it into the phenomenon we know as Voltron could have been bad or was unnecessary? Just imagine what would happen. Just imagine what would happen if someone like, let's say, 4Kids got their hands on it. Yeah, exactly. But in the end, I do recommend picking up GoLion, the Japanese version of Voltron, to get an idea of what was actually taken out for the American version and what the original version was supposed to be like. So I do highly recommend getting it. There are 2 volumes. I'm going to get the second one down the line. And there are other volumes as well based on the other Voltron incarnations as we speak. So that's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will talk to you all later.